is Crossroads.
Archangels and God in the darkness and horsemen of the apocalypse.
Right. But Kripke left himself some room for error.
But he left wiggle room.
Which was smart.
But he also limits it by only giving them 5 bullets. Now, I liked that because, again, from a storytelling device, it puts immediate drama in any use of it because you have to then immediately weigh, does this threat outweigh the cost of a bullet? Because at this time, you can't replicate it.
Yeah.
Like eventually in season 3, Ruby fixes the gun and makes more bullets magically, which is never explained.
She's hot. But that's all that matters.
She used hot blonde magic and just makes more bullets.
I'm really hot and I could fix this for you. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that worked for you?
Yeah. But she could also have sold me on the Heaven's Gate. I would have.
I think you can be sold on a lot of things that you say that.
Mystical objects and hot blondes. Yes. That's I'll take my life for those. So dumb.
Now, again, that also limits it, which I liked that. Now, later we find out that it doesn't kill anything, no questions asked. Because the final chronological time we see the cult is in season 5. One of my favorite episodes, episode 10, Abandon All Hope. And that's when they use the weapon to try and kill Lucifer.
Yeah.
And I still remember that scene when Dean's right next to him and you didn't know because Sam and Lucifer were talking and he just puts a round in his head. It's violent, it's sudden, and you're just like, holy shit, did they actually pull that off? Because part of you, and that's the thing is, knowing there's still like 12 episodes, for a minute I still believed that they had done it. I don't know, did you get like that when they shot him in the head?
Oh yeah.
For a second you're like, holy crap, it worked. And then maybe they'll like come up with something else, like, or God will show up for the last of the season. But he walks it off, no problem. And that's where one of the limiting factors, but also one of the most debated things in the fandom through Reddit and fan pages and wikis and things like that, where Lucifer says that he is one of 5 things that the cult cannot kill. Now, they've never gone into detail as to what those 5 things are. And I think this is something that Kripke had one idea, but then as time has moved on, we've kind of given a couple different ways it could categorize these things.
Right.
Because at the time, we have archangels are like the most powerful thing, and God and death. Those are like the top tier villains.
Right.
Or entities.
Now, even though archangels, Lucifer, it all makes sense. It doesn't kill them, but it still stops them. Like, it doesn't kill them, which again leads me to believe that Kripke did a lot of research into Greek and Roman mythology, because depending on what you read and what sources you read in Greek mythology, Thomas, like some of it, you can never kill a god. You just can't.
Right.
They don't die, but you can put them in hiatus.
You can only put them away. Send them away for your earthly lifetime.
Right. And there are weapons that can hurt them. And sometimes it's 9 years. Sometimes it's for, eons. But they're there and they don't die. And that's one thing that I really appreciated about this cult, that it did have, yes, it was the sword that could possibly defeat the Centaur, but it doesn't mean it's going to now be able to kill Zeus himself.
Right.
And again, going back to the element of what you're saying, or Kripke giving himself some room for error. It wasn't just giving himself room for error. You're like saying down the road, do I really want this thing to be able to kill everybody?
Right.
It also just fit kind of the motif of Greek mythology and the weapon that it's powerful, but there are
it's not a get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what do you think with the whole 5 things it cannot kill? Because when as far as Kripke's era goes, that's probably God, either Lucifer and Michael, or archangels as a whole, and maybe death and the horsemen. That's all that's established. So if you count,
well, the Leviathans, have they been established?
They're not until season 7 are they even mentioned.
So they're not established as part of the 5?
No one has established them as part of the 5.
Okay.
None of the 5 except Lucifer have been established.
Okay.
But I'm saying, I think it's changed. As fans, we have different criteria now. Because with Kripke's era, when that first sentence is said, what are the 5?
They had no idea.
I think there was 5, and then it has like changed since then.
I doubt Kripke even had an idea of what the 5 was. He probably assumed it would be God and it would be Lucifer. But that was it.
God, Lucifer, and 3 others, it doesn't matter, because this is where the story ends.
Right.
But as far as fans go, I would say with Kripke's era, you had God, maybe the 4 archangels. I know some people counted that as the 5.